Occupy Gaza? Is that where we're at? USAID is like funding everything apparently that you hate. We've got David Brummer live from Israel as well. WND Live starts right now. Well, if you're like me, folks, I'm laughing at that thumbnail. That was pretty. That was pretty good. I hadn't seen it until we went live. Good job over there, producers. Josh Turnbow is with us. Josh,
what's up,
I feel
everybody?
like you had something to do with that.
I might have. Any laughing Trump thing is just I'm all about it. Because I feel like that's where we are. We'll dive into it, but with this timeline, as they say, it keeps taking turns. Nobody can predict.
I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I had a good old friend of mine, big lefty, freak out yesterday. The first news I heard of Trump's idea of a resort in Gaza was when he freaked out and blamed me for voting for Trump and allowing the madman to do what he's doing. And then I watched the whole press conference and everything, and I thought, man, this is sure is exciting. It's a way to get everybody's attention. So, folks, we're going to dive into all of that. Like I said, we also have David Brummer from Israel. But real quick, we want to show you this, patriotmobile.com/WND Patriot. That is where you need to sign up for your wireless service. Head over there right now. Your coverage is guaranteed, just like as if you were on the big guys, except your money is going to a place that you can get behind. Because Patriot Mobile is the only Christian conservative wireless provider in these United States. And folks, you got to use that promo code WND Patriot. Scan the QR code, hit the link in the description, and get yourself over to patriotmobile.com/WND Patriot and sign away your wireless needs to Patriot Mobile. Very good. All right, Josh, let's get this show on the road. We have to. I mean, if nobody saw this clip of what Trump announced, it took everybody by surprise. Perhaps even Netanyahu himself. But let's watch this.
Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, interesting take, right? Going to occupy Gaza, take it over. Somebody who's close by that area, closer than you and I are, is David Brummer in Israel. Let's bring him on up. David, how are you?
Hey guys, good to see you.
So, are you ready for this? You got your swim shorts ready to head over to Trump Resort in Gaza?
This is wild. I mean, it's just up the coast from Tel Aviv, so you could probably swim down the sea or kayak or I don't know, take a jog or something, and then who knows what delights await you in the Gaza resort that Trump is planning.
Okay, but in all seriousness though, what is your take on this? What do you think Trump's trying to imply here? I mean, he's got a great point, right? Like, this has been going on for 100 years or more, right? Like the back and the forth, the death and the destruction. And I mean, this is all he keeps talking about. This is all about saving innocent lives. And there are innocent lives that are just born and live on both sides of this fight, but there are innocent people, and that's truly what he's concerned about here. What do you think this said? What kind of message do you think this sends? And what are you hearing over there?
Well, I think that what he's trying to do is really concentrate minds. And I don't know whether he's 100% serious in what he said. I think there's probably something behind it. I think he might be sort of hedging his bets, and there's an idea in his mind that there's something that he wants to achieve, and it may be less than the entire resettlement of the Gazan population. But if he gets it, I guess he would take it. But I think it's at its essence, he's right. If we just have tens of billions of dollars poured in for reconstruction and there's no oversight, something that USAID may know about, and you just have Hamas running everything, and they're just going to build another terrorist enterprise beneath whatever they build on top. And I think he's right. I don't think you can really challenge him too much on what he said.
Yeah. Josh, what's your take on this as you watch it unfold last night?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a little extreme here, and I'm going to say like this could potentially be the greatest change to the region since the Romans decided to rebuild to change the whole of what they later called Palestine, but as a pejorative, right? This is massive. This is history making if it happens, but this is such a unique take from Trump, right? He's like choice A and choice B, and Trump comes along and he erases them and just writes choice T, which is going to be something no one expected. He said, oh, America's going to own Gaza and we're going to make it the new Miami. It'll be beautiful. And maybe, you can kind of sense he's like, we'll let people come back, but he means like the people won't blow it up. And David had a great point here. Like, if anyone's ever been to Tel Aviv, look up a picture of Tel Aviv. They call it the Miami of the Middle East, right? Like it's beautiful. It's amazing beachfront property with the hotels. And like my imagination is thinking it's the same strip of land David mentioned as that Tel Aviv is on, just down below in Gaza. And even Trump's like, I love it that he always uses his real estate mind. This is the most valuable beachfront property, beautiful. You know what I mean? He's always thinking like a developer, which is kind of the most American thing ever. And he's got everybody shell shocked as usual. So that means what's next is people are going to come to the table and maybe we'll just have like a small resort. And not the whole thing. But one thing I should say too, Matt, is if he's serious about this, and frankly, I'm not doubting him anymore. This is like the largest construction project in the world. And he'll use that as a lever, right? So he'll say like, hey, Saudis, you got big construction companies, American companies, everybody's coming in. It's a party. Everyone's going to make money. It's going to be beautiful.
Right. Well, the big concern, though, of course, is the 1.7 or 8 million people that are there now, and there was obviously questions on those folks there. So let's watch what Trump had to say with that.
To follow up on what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza and going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, you just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace in a much better situation because they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and that the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their hearts and will give us the kind of land that we need to get this done. And people can live in harmony and in peace. Thank you all very much.
Hey, so David, I want to talk to you. We want to get into like the state of Gaza and what it looks like now because we have some incredible aerial footage. But to the point of where will these people go? And we've talked a lot about before, we've heard the discussions before, why doesn't Jordan take them, or why doesn't Egypt take them? Like what, and then he talks about all these other countries. I mean, what is that sort of sentiment on the ground there where these people should go, if not in the most, devastating place as Gaza?
I mean, the truth of the matter is that nobody really wants them. I mean, we had a story in WND this week about those 70 Palestinian, they were Hamas prisoners who were sort of holed up in a Cairo hotel, and no one will take them. So, 70% of Jordan is sort of Palestinian by ethnicity. So, the logical place, and certainly in terms of the partition of the mandate Palestine, they were supposed to go there in the first place anyway. And then you have Egypt, where a lot of them are from. It kind of seems painfully logical what he's suggesting, actually. And Qatar did an awful lot of spending a lot of their money to prop up Hamas, and maybe they could take a few Palestinians as well. I don't know. But,
yeah, Trump did mention Qatar as being on board with some of his plans here. Okay, well, let's talk about the sort of the state of the Gaza Strip today. Take a look at some of this footage. We can talk over it as it's up, but this looks like straight out of a movie. This is incredible. What part of Gaza is this? Roughly speaking, how big is this area? Just to give a context, is this the size of Manhattan? Is it smaller, larger?
No, I think it's big. I think it's bigger than Manhattan. This is probably central of the Strip. I think Gaza City is in that sort of central part. I remember hearing John Spencer, the war expert, the guy who talks about wars inside cities, and he said that he's been there with the Israeli army, and effectively there were two levels. There was a level above, and then there was a level below where the tunnels are and weapons and hostages, obviously. And these are people fighting among civilian areas. And this devastation is really, people were crowded into the south. The IDF moved them. There were humanitarian areas. They wanted to go into the north. And then famously, they wanted to go into Rafah and try and get the hostages and sort of clean out as much of Hamas as they could. So the people who were in the south are now, were slowly moving their way back north, and they're seeing the destruction. And, where are they going to live? They're just going to be sort of in literal refugee camps, with tents and temporary shelters. And, for the next, they suggest it could be a decade and a half until reconstruction is finished. So from that point of view of actually wanting people to have a decent life, do you want them for the next 10 years to be living in tents and shelters with no running water and all the rest of it? That's not a dignified life. So if there's a way of doing that, then actually maybe he's looking out for them more than other people are.
Yeah.
Matt, Josh, I was going to say that, just agreeing with David, if you just look at those ruins that we had just showed, that has to be bulldozed. You're not going to live in that. No one can live in that. It looks like a scene from World War II, so there's some kind of major plan that's going to have to say, first we scrape the top of the whole region, then they got to do ground penetrating radar or something to see what's under there, because I think
the tunnels and everything.
Yeah. Brummer's bringing this up, but a lot of people don't understand that they really spent all the money on making that place a subterranean fortress like we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And that will be discovered, I'm certain, the minute they start to clear off the rubble. That's a big job. Those are concrete buildings. So
I've heard an estimate that it's going to take maybe a year to 18 months just to clear the rubble out, let alone before you even get into reconstruction. Just getting that place level is going to take a while, and it's a tough situation.
So let me ask both of you guys this then, because just kind of the ramifications, if by the off chance, America does occupy Gaza in any fashion whether it's militarily and then civilly, if it becomes a territory of the United States, we always hear about here in the States about how it's in our strategic best interest to be involved, in the Middle East and supporting Israel and all of that. And all that aside, if we actually have a physical presence there with Americans on the ground occupying a particular, that puts us in a bigger target on our back when it comes to the folks in the region that hate us. So I mean, there's a lot to consider here. If you're just gaming this out in the future, 5 years from now, if American Gaza is an actual location, what does that do to the global political situation there?
Josh, you want to take this?
I think this comment. Look, I'll put up a comment. Okay.
All right, let's see it.
How do you feel about a Trump casino in Gaza? So okay. Thanks, Estelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, guys, all bets are off now for me, frankly, because meaning my doubts are just kind of, I'm giving Trump the benefit here that because what he's been doing is he's been saying he's going to do all this stuff and it's actually been happening. And my guess is he's also, he's working with smart folks now. David, can we talk about the fact that UNRWA is not a thing anymore? I don't think people understand that this is the global socialist welfare program that Americans don't know anything about how many billions go to this. It's its own UN group.
Yeah, give us the background here on that, David.
Yeah.
UNRWA, there are two organizations for the world's refugees. There's the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, and then there's UNRWA. So UNRWA,
it's its own thing. Yeah,
is just for the Palestinians. It's for they say there's like 5 million refugee Palestinians, but that includes people who have been for 3 generations in Lebanon and Syria, and even people in, I think even like the Hadids, or for example, like Bella Hadid, they're kind of officially, their father's officially considered a refugee, even, because at one point his family lived in this part of the world. So UNRWA has been in existence since 1949, I think. So it's now into its 76th year, and it has failed to resettle a single refugee, apparently. The ROI on that organization is appalling. It is infested with terrorists and has been for quite some time. There is very little daylight between the leadership of UNRWA and Hamas. There were Hamas operatives who were employees of UNRWA who participated in the killing and the slaughter of October 7th. And the Knesset in Israel, the parliament, decided in October, there were 2 bills, both of which got passed with an overwhelming majority, which was to basically ban them from any functions in Israel and sovereign territory in Judea and Samaria. So they've kicked them out. And we keep being told that there's no way the United Nations can possibly deal with, it's the only organization that can possibly deal with the Palestinians, and it's not true, really.
No, it's not, and we're going to find out. Matt, I think, hey, can we just throw up our thumbnail real quick, Alexis? I want to show you these guys. There we go.
Oh dear.
We'll see. But
you don't usually see him laughing like that.
No, yeah.
I think we're going to see it again.
I do have a question for you, because you know Benjamin Netanyahu more than I do, and his demeanors and stuff. What do you think he saw this coming?
Yeah,
do you think Trump kind of just laid it out there? I mean, what's your take?
He certainly didn't seem as though he was expecting that to come. He kind of raised his eyebrows and sort of did, are all my dreams really coming together in this stage right here, right now? They may have discussed it beforehand, and then he was like, "Yeah, of course you'll say that. Why not? Like, of course." And then he actually said it, and it was like, "Oh, that wasn't a joke. You were actually being serious." He seemed I mean, honestly, that to say that they're going to clear everyone out and try to repopulate, resettle them somewhere else and do a population transfer, whatever. Like, I don't think that he could have imagined that would ever be coming out of the mouth of an American president.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's wild. I mean, that you can consider, 2 months ago, that would, no one would even consider that would be a thing. And there was the American president in front of the world's media saying it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it shocked so many people. Now, and forgive my ignorance here, but who would, I think this question, who could actually authorize the United States to be there? I mean, would we come in as like an invading force, or would Israel have to pass along something that says, oh, you guys can have the Gaza Strip, or is it up to the Palestinians to say, oh, we welcome you? I mean, logistically speaking, legally speaking, if there is such a thing as legal in this sort of thing, some sort of law or something, what do you know who owns the land, basically, I guess? And I know that's the big fight, right?
It's only the big question, Matt.
That is a very thorny subject. I mean, Egypt annexed it, obviously, for quite some time, between 48 and 67. Israel took it over, and then it completely abandoned it in 2005 with the disengagement. I actually don't know 100% who, claims. Obviously, the Palestinians in Gaza and the Hamas, and they claim ownership of that particular strip of land. But I'm not quite sure who they would have to square that with in order to be able to do the reconstruction.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Matt, I can answer that a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I will tell you that
you have the 1,000-year-old answer.
we have these funny notions, right? That there's these participatory groups like the UN, but with the wave of a hand or a pen in Trump's case, they can no longer care to participate in these things, and these morons that are like these global citizens, they think like, oh, the UN's going to come spank you and put you in jail. But no, that's not the case. The global empire is now, reasserting itself. It is the United States. It has all leverage, and Trump is now a leader ruling from power, absolutely different than Joe Biden ruling from complete, from taking a nap, more or less. And so if Trump wants, he can move these levers of power. Another one, so for instance, Saudi Arabia is like, we don't like this. Saudi Arabia relies on the United States, and we generously will take its oil, but we don't have to. And especially with Trump's future plans of turning oil back on in the United States, Saudi Arabia could find itself in a leveraged position. So I'm guessing that Trump's going to, make a deal, and people are going to want to come along.
Just quickly to pick that up on that, that's an interesting point, because Saudi Arabia is dependent on the United States.
Absolutely.
Egypt is largely dependent on the United States. They get billions of dollars a year in aid. Jordan also is incredibly dependent on the United States. So those three, could be sort of pivotal players in this action, and the United States has a decent amount of leverage over them. And also, if the United States decided to land, I don't know, the 101st Airborne on in Gaza, I'm not sure who's going to tough them out. To be honest, it certainly isn't going to be the UN.
Right.
I don't know if they'll actually go do that, and they'll probably want to have partners to do it. But I guess if they wanted to go it alone, they probably could.
There you go.
Yeah, well, you ask a silly question, and we don't have I mean, it's the I mean, I guess I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think like who would stop American troops and American forces from taking over. I mean, I'm not necessarily advocating for that, but
no.
It's just like something has to be done there. And I think Trump is, again, he's sick of the death. He's sick of the killing. It's the same argument he talks about in Ukraine and Russia. And so at least he threw this idea out there, and it's gotten everybody talking. All right, well, what are we going to do? So we'll definitely keep tabs on that, folks. We got the stories over there at WND.com, and we'll keep you posted on that as much as we can, especially on X, right, Josh? We're always on X. That's where the
definitely
Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Oh, well, David, we look forward to catching up with you again. I hope you stay safe in Israel and put down a deposit on a future condo in Gaza.
Yeah, get those timeshares ready, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have amazing timeshares.
They're gonna. I could speak to you about that.
Real quick, David, where can people follow you?
I'm on X at DJ Brummer 1938.
DJ Brummer 1938. Fantastic.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Alrighty.
All right.
See ya.
Very good. Yeah, that's wild, man. What a wild take. You know, again last night, Josh, people were freaking out. I had people just saying, "Oh my God, this is the maniac that you all elected," and I'm going, Did I miss something here? Like, are you think this is like did he actually go in today? Did that happen? Like, it's the same. It almost feels like the same at the same time when during 45, Trump 45, when he threatened Kim Jong-un. Rocket Man.
Button. Yeah, he's got
he's like, I got a bigger button.
Rocket.
And everybody was like, oh my God, he's ready to start World War III. We told you. And next thing you know, he's walking across the demilitarized what is that? The demarcation line? Is that what they call it?
Yes, demilitarized zone.
Yeah. The DMZ.
DMZ,
The DMZ. Anyway, so.
You know what, Matt? It's the people that always do that stuff. It's just wimps, dude. They're not brave. They're not bold. They say things like the internet. I heard this guy on a plane when we were going to the inauguration. He said, like, the international community will not let Trump get away with this. And I'm like, what kind of person are you? I mean, like, that the international community, this is the kind of guy that calls people, tells the HOA that their lawn is too long. This is such a stupid take. He doesn't even understand. And now we're learning that so much of everything was paid for by the American taxpayer all over the place, with the USAID stuff.
Yeah. I mean, check this out, guys. Here's the story up at WND. It's absolutely shocking. The biggest names in news propped up by millions of dollars from the U.S. government. So the main one here being Politico, which was always surprising. Or I guess this isn't too surprising to me because it was the paper of record. It was the paper that everybody read on the Hill and everybody referred to. It was the high intellectual, like straight from the horse's mouth. And now you're saying like it was the biggest propaganda machine we've ever had. Politico, right?
Government paid for. Yeah. So we're gonna. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, so as Elon digs into and his team of autists dig into USAID, they're finding that USAID was paying for news, or what a shocker, paying for left-leaning news organizations and through grants. And so, like, I think there's some lines here, but this is like a purchase order, right?
Yeah. Well, look at it says Politico subscriptions for 37 users.
And the pro subscription, which amounts to, $500,000 or something.
What do you get for that?
But the total is, I think we have that. Is it closer to 7 or 8 million or something like that? Over
time, it's over $8 million. Your government has been subsidizing Politico.
Yes.
Incredible. Absolutely. Is this going to be it here? Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Look at that. And look at that chart. 2024, they really had to pump it in. Look at that. That is in $8.2 million to Politico. And
we're used to this, like, kind of, we're black pilled, as it were, that everything's corrupt on the left and in DC, Matt. But imagine if this had gone the other way. Is Fox News on this list? Right, because they're
WorldNetDaily.
They have this like idea that the journalists hold power accountable, but that's dead. That's for the most part for the mainstream, right? It's just dead in the grave. the truth is they're getting income streams from the same people that they support unabashedly.
How can you have a seat inside the White House press room, right? And you're getting paid by that same government to essentially just ask the proper questions so you can parrot the answer that the deep state wants you to do. Watch this clip here of the press secretary today, Trump's press secretary, talk about this money going to Politico.
Yeah.
The clip is stalling.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
Yeah, abroad too. The British Financial Times, the BBC. I mean,
yeah. So it's essentially it was Biden payoff money, right?
Yeah.
Don't notice this, and I want to see receipts from the newsroom. That's what I want to see. I want to see if we can. We may never see them, but an editor saying, for instance, like don't cover that. And well, we know now why, because the government, it just had its hand in everything, paying everyone.
Yeah.
But only the everyone that protected them. Remember when they were screaming like total morons, defend our democracy? Remember that, Matt? Defend our democracy while they're literally being paid by the swamp.
And this is just one area. This is USAID, right? I mean, how many other slush funds, I'll call it a slush fund, how many other slush funds out there were being directed towards maybe the Washington Post or the New York Times? Or are they too above this to accept any money?
I think I already saw that the New York Times is being reported as taking money as well from USAID. So
yeah, there we go. So no shock there. Democracy dies in darkness, right?
Oh, I know. All of their like pearl clutching statements, they're all just, the thing is, Matt, is this, they're just liars. They just want power to therefore get money.
Yeah.
They've been lying the whole time, and that's why I think the American people are starting to fully get an understanding of this, and so we're deaf. We're becoming deaf to their pleas, which are increasingly hysterical because they have to be.
And it's very empowering. Like I feel like the more that this disclosure happens, the more I feel my sense being like, we were right. We were right. Yeah. And it just builds up that and I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just trying to say like, hey, I can stick my head up out of the ground and know that the flak coming for me is going to be like ching ching. Like you're just becoming more and more empowered to these ridiculous lies. And I mean, the fact that Donald Trump tapped Elon Musk to do this is incredible. And let's play that clip here about Trump speaking on this.
Oh, many ideas, but look, he's done a great job. Look at all the fraud that he's found in this USAID. It's a disaster. What the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you know what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money. With the money, I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. How much money has been kicked back?
That's a good point.
Who would spend that kind of money to some of the things that you read about and I read about and I see every night on the news and every morning when I read the papers? Who would spend money for that? I would say this: the people that got all that money, are they kicking it back to the people that gave it from government? No, that's, to me, very, very corrupt. The real question is, how much of a kickback has there been? And one of the things I want to invest in.
Yeah, let's start.
And by the way, if he's saying that, Matt, he said it like 3 times.
Oh yeah, he knows.
He knows they're gonna reveal kickbacks, and
because can't you request? I mean, if you're taking $8 million right at Politico, can't you as the government say, you know what, we'd like to audit your books. Where have you been spending that money? And then maybe we start to see some paper trails of where that money gets sent. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I literally don't know. But when Trump says stuff like that, you think, okay, well, we have a right to know because Politico, it's our money. It's our money. And we want to know where y'all spent it.
I think we're gonna know soon.
Soon. I mean, it could be in a matter of hours, Josh. I mean,
at this rate, yeah.
It's happening so fast. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Free, unwarranted handouts need to stop somewhere. You're right. I love the comments.
Yeah, Estelle's been all up in the comments. They had another one that was, oh yeah. So he's asking about, or I'm saying he. I don't know if actually you're he, sir, or ma'am. Have you heard anything about the protests across the country with Trump's latest move and the fears of Project Boogeyman 2025?
Oh yeah,
I love it. So the left they're usually good at messaging. We'll come back to that, Estelle. I think Friday's show we're going to cover the protests. And because we'll have more to work with then, and we will. So come back and watch. We're going to cover that. But they're always they are really good at framing. So they had to bring up Project 2025 again, but it has no teeth. It's it's a nothing burger. And so I mean, so clip 4, dude. We're gonna see like the pathetic response from the left.
Yes,
agree that Musk is a problem, but listen to them today. And they have a piñata in search of a stick.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your
I think it's they have a stick in search of a piñata. No,
of our democracy. We
I
have
don't know.
work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy.
This is the cringiest group of morons I've seen in a long time.
To the United States of America.
These
Oh,
guys, quick. Chuck Schumer.
My God, Schumer.
Cringe of all cringe.
With is that Maxine Waters?
Yeah, she's over there. Okay, this it's always it's always been an odd group of bedfellows, right? Like cringy old white libs with really angry like the totally bought out black side of the libs. They're like always bought out.
Oh yeah.
And now they want to dance around the violence. Remember the calls of violence that Trump supporters were always supposedly doing?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So they're using the fire. Oh, we're gonna burn this down. We're gonna resist. I think they're gonna try it. We're starting to see the protests come, but they're in shambles, dude.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Shambles.
It's a mess. Josh, I do have to ask you though, are you a little upset though? Because like USAID has been spending millions and millions of dollars all over the world trying to turn people gay. And
didn't work here, Matt.
Well, and I mean, you've been doing it for free, You must be really upset.
No, not turning people gay. Just accusing everyone as being gay.
yeah, being gay, right? Yeah.
Don't be gay.
Don't be gay.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I don't know if we put this up, but we did have like a list, and it included like $20 million for, I don't know, was it Iraqi Sesame Street or something? And Sesame Street's super gay. We all know that now. We grew up on it, but like, it was all just real subtle indoctrination. Yeah. Bert and Ernie living together in sin.
Right.
And Big Bird. Big Bird was the first trans character. We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been spending money. Yeah. Thousands and thousands of dollars on transgender opera, in Norway or something like, it's ridiculous. So,
but like they really did put their money where their ideas were.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking forward to the savings, I guess, whatever that goes towards. But I do think Trump has a plan to get the money back to the people somehow or another. He's talked about that sovereign wealth fund that sounds pretty pretty amazing. So we'll cover that as it comes. But yeah, I'm excited for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very good. Folks, if you've been enjoying this program and you want to support us, we have an excellent way to do so. It's called the WND News Center, which is a 501c3. You scan that QR code, it'll take you right there, and you can give us direct support for this program. You don't have to buy a product. You don't have to worry about any of those other things. You can give us direct support, help keep the show on the air, and take a tax-deductible donation because it is a 501c3. So you can support WorldNetDaily Live. That's this show right here, WorldNetDaily Live. That's what you're watching.
Yeah, gay jokes and all.
Exactly. So hit that QR code. There's a description in the link. It'll take you right there, and then you can make a donation of any amount. You can make it a recurring one that happens bi-weekly or monthly, whatever you feel like offering in order to keep us on the air. We would greatly appreciate. So make sure you scan that QR code. Okay, let's do a little around the webs, let's take a trip around the web here. Trump, this was interesting. Trump says he left instructions in case Iran takes him out.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Iran, and why is Iran happy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do, not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran. So I'm signing this, and it's a very powerful...
Classic Trump.
I love it.
That is classic Trump. That is exactly the answer. I never thought I would ever hear from someone in that position, but like, I've left instructions. Like,
it's like a mafioso move. It's so great. I've left instructions.
Yeah.
Upon my death, you will obliterate Iran.
Obliterate it.
Obliterate it. It's a great word too. He didn't say like they'll be, it'll be bad. He said obliterate.
Obliterate. Yeah, and that doesn't mean sanctions.
Dude, no,
it's not sanctions.
I'm just thinking, and I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but some people this will make mad, and I just want those people to understand that they can take a nap whenever they want. They can just go relax and chill out. This is what leading from strength looks like, and it's been long overdue.
And it's having ramifications in a good way as well, because 2 months in a row, apparently, the Army is hitting their recruiting numbers, or at least getting big ones.
Yeah.
In December, here, Pete, this is Secretary SecDef Hegseth.
Yeah.
He has said December 24, best recruiting numbers in 12 years. January, which we just had, best recruiting number in 15 years. The bottom line is, America's youth want to serve under America First leadership of Donald Trump. So, I mean, boom.
And these numbers don't include overweight people and trans numbers. Okay, this is like what the Army used to be, what the military used to be, like young men that wanted direction in their life. They were patriotic, and actually they probably feel confident that, oh, look, I might go into the armed services and I'm not going to be in a trench in Ukraine. Right. Donald Trump's not going to do that to me. And I sincerely hope that is the case. That they're going to have different ways to serve, and it's not going to be to go die overseas for some garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so great to see, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who was confirmed last week, I believe, and then just this morning, Pam Bondi got over the hump and got her vote in and was sworn in as AG this morning. I think we got a little clip of that, of her being sworn in. There we go.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support
Beautiful.
and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Justice Clarence Thomas doing the swearing in. Fantastic. What a legend.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
Fantastic.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental.
And that, of course, happening in the Oval Office.
Yep.
President Trump just off to the side. You got that beautiful portrait of Washington.
I was going to say George Washington watching over.
Yeah, man, it's so great. So
awesome.
Great to see. What a great thing. And then also Eric Scott Turner was confirmed today as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. This was something that Ben Carson held last time when Trump was in office, and now we have Eric Scott Turner. The vote was 55-44, it looks like. Got some Democrats to come over, so that's good. And then Russ Vought is up right now for the OMB. He was OMB during 45, if I'm correct. He just cleared 53-47.
Yep.
And
Russ is great, man. He's a great guy. If people don't know Russ Vought or Russ Vote, I've heard it said as well. He's a great guy, and this is Trump's putting in all the right people. People like him were loyal to Trump and conservative, and now they're gonna preside over power in America, and we're gonna be able to trust them.
Yeah.
Or else.
And I think that there's been an ebb and flow, I think, of like, oh, this is going too slow. This isn't going fast enough. But here's a quick update for you folks on where we are at this stage. For those keeping score, by February 5th, which is today, Trump 1.0 had 6 cabinets. Joe had 6. But right now he's at 12. He's got 12 confirmed. So we are double
2X,
where
bro.
we were.
Yes.
Yeah, we are double. So things are moving quickly. And I will say this, that expose on USAID has certainly put a lot of people, I think, has expedited this. I mean, when you start uncovering those types of things, all of a sudden, like Susan Collins, I think, came out and said, "Oh, I love Kash Patel," and you're like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't see you that like that before." But great. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the party, pal. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're going to keep seeing that.
Yeah. You make a good point. Like, people had to kind of duck for cover while that was all going on. Now they need to, everyone's probably, just the threat of what Trump was saying about kickbacks, dude.
Oh yeah.
People are checking the books.
Exactly. You better be on board. And then I expected to see the buyout thing in some of the more benign areas of government, we're going to buy out your contract. You get 8 months of severance, just quit your job. But apparently this has also happened at the CIA. This was breaking late last night. CIA has offered buyouts to all employees, providing them with approximately 8 months of pay and benefits in exchange for their resignations. I mean, the CIA, y'all, that's crazy.
So this idea, can we find a picture of Curtis Yarvin? So this idea came, the first time I heard it came from right-wing thinker Curtis Yarvin, and he was kind of writing essays about the deep state and the elites. And he was saying that if Trump win again, they should just buy out federal employees altogether to get them to leave. And, when they came into USAID and were kind of, they're kind of like figuring out who they're going to lay off and telling federal employees they have to come in. A lot of people were like, oh, they didn't go with Curtis Yarvin's theory that they should buy them out. But the Curtis Yarvin was saying that the deepest place that it needed to take place, because you have to remove the people, is the intelligence agencies. And I was really thrilled to see that they are offering this tactic to get them to leave, which means there's going to be probably less people, but also this would suggest that there's going to be job openings at all these places. And, it still keeps shocking me that it's happening, but I'm really thrilled that they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, like I said, I think all of this stuff, and this needs to happen from This needs to be keep happening at the federal level. And for any of you folks out there that have any influence on your local level, like have it happen all the way down to the city, to your city council. Like there's no reason why we have to keep going with this massive bureaucracy that all it does is take away your civil rights. All it does is violate your civil rights from the top on down. So be inspired, folks. Be inspired. You can sit back and watch this all day and be entertained with your popcorn and just do all this. But look around you and look around what's going on in your own state and in your own city and your own municipality with your own HOA and make some changes, man. Make some changes. This is the time. The time is now for the golden age. Right, Josh?
Man, I feel it. Any more weird stuff happen with Israel, and I'm going to start digging the bunker. But
yeah,
I think
wild.
Every day, Matt, every day we have something new. So I'm looking forward to Friday. My guess is that we're going to say something like Trump has threatened any city in any state that has a protest that's out of control, that their funding will be gutted. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. So follow all of this at WND.com and of course on the social medias. We want to roll through those.
Yeah, guys. You know, the show we had Monday totally was going to get censored because we talked about certain things, but not on Rumble. So we love our followers to go to Rumble, follow us over there, hit the follow button, add the app to your phone. Comment, get in those comments. And I don't see any Rumble comments. We got comments coming from YouTube, a lot of YouTube comments and Facebook today, but we'd love you to go over and support Rumble. Rumble's growing. So it's going to rapidly improve, which we're excited for. And of course, X, our X account, also one of these uncensored locations. You can follow all the breaking news over on our X account that streams directly from the website where the guys are writing the articles. And frankly, we're on every other platform. Facebook too, which I'm looking forward to Zuckerberg easing up on how lame they are over at Facebook. But I mean, a lot of people are on Facebook. We have like 700,000 followers over there. So I'd love to build the audience on Facebook. And if you watch the show, we really appreciate it. And guys, thank you for all the comments. We didn't get to all of them today, but we really appreciate you watching and waiting for Matt to, throw jokes my way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No offense, Josh. I love you. I think you're a good guy.
No, there's impossible to offend me, bro.
Oh, the challenge accepted.
It's really hard to do. Trust me.
All right, good. All right, folks. Well, we hope we haven't offended you. So we expect to see you back here on Friday. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Thanks.